Right, so hello everybody. It's the 13th of June 2026 and it's in the UK near Manchester where I am, and when I've just been down in Dorset flying my model gliders with some friends, the weather has been substantially very wet and windy and not at all pleasant. So having got back to my home in sort of South Manchester way of Cheshire, I've decided I'd go somewhere nice and sort of sunny. And I thought maybe it was time to visit New Zealand and go to Omarama. So here I am sitting in a Duo Discus with half water ballast, no second pilot, in Omarama. And just to bring a bit of the mood of the weather with me, I've set the air for unstable. So hopefully there'll be some sort of thunderstorms and sort of stuff on our way. I've also asked the weather system to generate wave, but I don't know that it will, because don't think wave is generally associated with the kind of unstable air that produces thunderstorms, but I'm not a great expert on these things, so if somebody wants to correct me, please leave a comment in the comments below, because hopefully this is all going to end up on YouTube. So this is a 180k task. The wind is west at 23 knots. I haven't flown for quite a while, so I'm a bit sort of ropey. That's a Wilga tug waiting to take us up. I've managed to get the maps and things working on the Alex Nav. I think I know how to get the buttons working to start the task on the LX and things. I hope so. If not, we won't be continuing with this video. So let's do our pre-flights and we'll clear around the box. I mean, I won't do the full CB-CB. That's a bit silly, but just want to check the actual controls are more or less set. With the crosswind, I'll have to watch that and take off. I have the settings on Condor with combined rudder and aileron just on the XY axis, but I can use the rudder on the twist axis. What's that, the Z axis? I've no idea. So that I can sort of add some overriding rudder. Makes it a bit awkward on crosswind takeoffs because you really want the interwind aileron, down a bit, and the rudder the opposite direction so you don't weathercock into wind. But of course, when you've got them combined, as you put the, let's say, the left wing down for this crosswind, that will also apply a left rudder, but you actually want to be applying right rudder to stop yourself from weathercocking, and so they oppose each other, but you just tend to watch what's happening and go with it from there. So right, here we are. I think we're all good to go. I've got to try and get this done before it's my tea at about 8:30 tonight. I don't know if I can manage it or not, but let's hope so, if we can bat on at reasonable speed, even though I'm rusty at flying. But right, okay, we have a Wilga tug waiting, so without any more ado, let's get going. He started up, coming to get us. Can't think of anything else much to say really, except Omarama is one of the kind of pilgrimage places for glider pilots. I think particularly for sort of, well, I don't know, wave mountain flying, the lot really. It's a pretty cool place. I seem to recall it was kind of being run by the Wills family some while ago, but that was quite a while ago. Let's just concentrate on the takeoff because I need to do a half decent job of staying behind the tug. Actually being a bit rusty. Drifting up to one side a bit, stay behind him. Okay, we've managed to get off the ground without getting in a mess, that's good. So it says task has started because we're inside the zone, but the task won't start for about 5 minutes 46 seconds away. I think the gate won't open, so although it's saying task started, we can't really start the task properly until the gate opens. So we've got to take our Aerotow, find something to stay up in, and then go when the time is right. In the meantime, I need to practice my staying behind the tug because I'm very out of practice with this. A bit high on him, and I'm not doing very well here, but never mind, we're not being thrown off, so let's just stick with it. And apologies for my poor positioning. Probably not help because I'm talking away when I should just be focusing on the tug. But hey ho, a waffling I go. Right, I've tried to set the levels, I hope, so that my commentary isn't too drowned out by the effects, the airflow and the vario and various things, but it's trying to get the right balance, because if you set your voice too far above the effects, you don't feel like you're in the plane when you actually do the replay. It feels like you're someone who's talking over what's going on in the plane. I don't want that, so we've got to get a balance right between me being audible and it's still feeling immersive. So we'll find out at the end of all this whether I've got it more or less right. I mean, it only has to be more or less right because you know, you don't need to catch every word, but you might not want to catch any of the words at all, for all I know. But I think just doing a cross-country like this and capturing it, putting on YouTube without any chat gets rather dull, you know, for a viewer. That's my personal view. Crappy job staying behind the tug here. Come on, mate, get yourself sorted. Good God. Call yourself a glider pilot? It's dreadful over-controlling and jittering. I should be settled down behind the tug. That's a bit better now. Just try and keep it like that. A little less of this fiddling with the joystick. I have to say though, the gaming joystick is a poor substitute for a real airplane's joystick. It has no feel. It's strongly sprung towards the centre, squeaks a bit. It has a bit of a kind of floaty neutral. And the tug actually is going through moving air as well, so he's bobbing up and down. So I am having to actually do a certain amount of controlling, which would apply in real life as well. Also, I find, and I must have said in all the other videos, but the trimmer on the joystick, gaming joystick, similarly, it's not really quite as good as a real glider's trimmer in terms of trying to get the plane to trim out on the Aerotow. You never get it quite right. So we're staying behind the tug okay, but I'm doing more fiddling than I should have to do that, I feel. Don't know why I'm having to fiddle so much, just can't get it settled. So let's try not to get inside him on the turn, let's try and stay on the outside of anything. If I can do them all like that, that's not so bad. See the clouds starting to build above us, so there should be some juicy thermals to go into here. Interesting to see what Condor likes as the circling speed. I just did a couple of little trial short clips while I was setting up the audio-visual stuff. Right, he wants me off. Pull the release twice and go. Get the wheel up. Oh, that's interesting. The Terror went very close over my head. I'm not quite sure how that happened, but wouldn't want that to happen in real life, really, to be honest. But never mind. Let's see if we can find some lift. Don't turn too soon. Okay, here we go. So yeah, let's see what circling speed Condor will be happy with since I'm on half water ballast. Tends to seem to want you to go a bit faster, I think, than you'd have to go in real life, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get centred first of all. The thermals are strong. I've set them to strong, but they are turbulent, so the lift might be uneven going round. They're strong all right. I mean, that's partly because I'm not trying to seriously challenge myself with my flying here. I just want to be able to have fun, get on with the task, enjoy the landscape as I go and all that kind of thingy. See if we can get it circling a bit tighter and slower.
2.4.
Open out a bit and turn again, might be a bit better, a little bit better. Still at 16 knots. Be good if we could circle a bit slower than this, really. Start zone will open in about 30 seconds, but we'll worry about gaining height before we worry about anything like that. So let's just focus on the flying for a bit. Okay, so it says the race is on, the gate is open, but of course I've not started yet. I mean, it thinks I've started, but I'm going to restart once I've got a height. And of course the height will be quite considerable. I think the cloud base is the best part of 8,000 feet, I think. So let's go for some height, because we want to rocket around the task if we can. be circling okay at 55 knots with half water ballast, so that's quite good. 6 knots on the average, is it? Yeah, 6.
2.
Pull the speed back a bit. The last flights I did were in the JS3, was it? I think that I bought, which obviously is a lot more responsive in roll than this. I'm having to get used to a sort of slightly more sluggish glider altogether, especially with some water ballast on board. Still climbing quite nicely at the moment. Nice if I can hold the speed back to 55, not picked up to 60, but anyway, do the best we can. I suppose in turbulent thermals it probably sets the speed to vary a little bit in thermals anyway, like it would in real life, so you've got to decide which is your poor speed control and which is just gusting in the thermals. But we're up to 7 knots on the average now there, so it's not too disgraceful. I mean, I know they're strong thermals, of course, so
3.6.
So you would be looking for good figures. Still turning very tight. I mean, whether I'd actually have to turn this tight to stay in the core of a thermal like this at this height, I'm not so sure, but
3.3.
come on, let's get yourself recentered a bit and let's just open it out just a bit. See whether we can get a rate of climb has actually dropped off, isn't it? But rate of climb has dropped off a bit. Sorry, I'm dropping my voice a bit, mumbling. Hope it's not too mumbly.
2.7.
Nice landscape. We're New Zealand, mate. We're down under. I like a bit of it. A little bit of this Kiwi action.
2.9.
Yeah, the CFI from the club I used to fly at used to go off to New Zealand to do instructing in the winter months for a period, I seem to recall. I think he did anyway. Right, let's just concentrate on the flying for a second. Where's that lift gone? Where's that lift gone? You seem to have just lost it as you get into cloud base. Come on, let's get back into it.
2.6.
It won't have disappeared, it's just me waffling too much, not paying attention to the flying. Here we go, is that a bit better? See where the old starting point is. We're virtually at cloud base. We've drifted a fair way from the airfield and the start zone, so let's get some speed on and head back there and get started. Some more lift back over towards the airfield, isn't there? So we need to top a bit on height and do that. And Macready, well, we'll look at Macready a bit once we're on our way. Can we even see if we can grope blindly for the keyboard at the moment and try and get Macready, because I think it's long since I've flown, I can't remember where the McCready's or anything, but never mind. Well, pushing on the LX now, but I don't know how it works. It's got various screens in it. Where do we set McCready? Oh, there it is. It's the blue thing on there, isn't it? So let's just see whether that's working. Let's just change sticks on the joystick. Yep, that's moving up. So let's let McCready to 4, shall we, for the hell of it? Let's live dangerously. You don't have to listen to it, but at least it gives us something to aim for. So, zooming in on the start zone. Conveniently, it looks as though we might be able to use this cloud when we come off it if we want a little. Should we take a little top up here just before we go through the start? That's not a bad idea, is it really, I think? Let's get some high back. I'm going to start it nice and high. And let's turn. The left under this one. I'm going to try turning to the left just for the practice, I think. Well, let's go around to the left then. See if we can work a bit slow there, don't stall it. The lift is going to be on the upwind end of the cloud, isn't it? But let's carry on searching a bit until we get into the left. Have a bit of fun before we start on task.
Inside zone.
Oh, good. Well, I'm inside the zone, so that's quite good.
Task started.
No, I'm not starting the task yet. I want to gain some more height before I do that. So where's the lift into this bugger? Where's the lift? Take me to your leader. All because I want to turn left-handed. I mean, obviously, turning right under the cloud would have been better, but I want to set up for a left hand. Okay. Start searching it a bit. Where is it? Not finding it. Broken up, isn't it?
0.8.
Get your speed control sorted, mate. Still, that's why you're flying this left-hand turn, just to try and get your trim back.
2.6.
Oh, yes, so there's the rain shower starting over there. The weather will be going soon, no doubt.
2.9.
last turn. Up to cloud base, and then we'll get ourselves into the start zone. Okay, where's that?
3.4.
Right, this time we are going to go for it. I'll stay here all night. Clip into the start zone.
Inside zone.
Okay. Get ready on the mouse to start the task when we get going. Okay, right, so we're all good now. We're off on task. So we'll head onto this fella. It's only a little bit off track. Let's get moving now. So I'm just trying to remember Right, let's head onto this cloud. I didn't really need to stop here, but just want to get into the zone for sort of circling and flying a bit and pulling up quickly, so I might as well start soon. I'll do it sooner or later, and I just want to practice my thermal turning, and also the business of, catching a thermal and getting established quickly in it. I'm not doing very well here, but never mind. It's all practice. You have to watch it when there's a decent wind, because you'll just get blown back very easily.
1.5.
Just finish this turn and then we'll get on our way. so seductive though. I'd love to do another turn, but
3.4.
Right, let's get some proper speed on now. Get moving. Wait for that next cloud. Can't really work out the McCready, isn't it awful? Sorry, I've got my hand up the joystick while I do this. Let's just fly it by the seat of our pants. I need to go back and study these things more. Because I thought it would show us kind of like a speed to fly on the ASI, but I don't know what's going on there. So you'd hope the wind should be on these slopes up ahead, wouldn't you, really? More or less, but we shall see. So you look, can you see that cloud growing there? And it suddenly, they're weird the way the weather generator works. They're like monsters that creep up on you. That thing suddenly took several steps to being larger. Very weird. Very peculiar. You catch them doing it. And I hope that might show on the recording. I managed to catch a bit of that. I'm going to keep looking at that to see if I can catch it doing it again. Not seen any lightning yet though, whereas when I did a little brief flight to test the weather studies yesterday, I had plenty of lightning early on, so for some reason I'm not getting it today. Showers, but not yet any thunderstorms. Perhaps they'll come along. If not, don't worry, we'll just fly anyway. Now come back in, yeah. There might be lines of hills we have to watch out for being in the lee of when we come back in, but we'll deal with that when it happens. Well, we may not get back. And I've got to watch the wheel roll time as well, because I do have to kind of stop for me tea at some point, so we might have to sort of write this off or curtail it or pause it or something. We'll see. Oh, sorry, no. Going the wrong way. Way to go. Lovely scenery, lots of water about. Nice peaks. I've not yet seen a flash of lightning, but I dare say they'll come along. There's some slight kind of flickering over there. I wonder if that's lightning in the distance. Who knows? No lift out here, is there? So it's going to be interesting. Unless there's something that hasn't formed a thermal yet. We're bit of work to do. I suppose you could argue in some ways you'd be better getting onto the hills and hugging them, but I don't know. At some point we have to think about that, but don't want to do it yet. If I can make it to these hills, you know, that are on track, I'd rather do that. Just hope they're working, otherwise we're screwed. But then we're probably screwed anyway if we, whether we join them sooner or later if they're not working. It's interesting how there's no clouds out over here, isn't it? There's a great big blue gap. No idea what that's all about. And like I say, let's hope that we can pick up some lift, because we're going to be below the height of the hill when we get there. Let's. Pretty slow, because we might be going through things a bit too much. Might have gone through something there, but I'm not turning back for it. But we'll go a bit slower just to sample the air a bit more. Need to adjust our heading a bit, don't we? More like it. Like that. It's interesting how we're sort of averaging, but so we're getting these blips, but they aren't really anything too definite, are they? At least this side, get too tight on my head. Right, so it seems to be taking forever to get to these hills, but we're slowly getting there. Not losing tons of height, but we have steadily lost height. And I don't know. The cloud base is not hugely above the top of these hills, is it? So interesting to see how we manage this. I just hope the hills are working. A bit funny, Condor 3, about you know, slopes not working unless the wind's got a decent setting on it. I think, did I read that they'd made it more realistic, so a lot of slopes didn't work below about kind of 18 knots or something. So we're at 23 knots. So I sincerely hope we're going to get some luck here. Yeah, we're currently kind of northwest, aren't we? So you would hope the wind is blowing onto these hills fairly squarely, but there's a lot of furrowing where we're going, so we shall have to see how all that works. Clefts that you can get stuck in. I mean, in a way it'd be easier to head here, but I want to stay on track as much as possible. Sorry, I'm not holding my heading very well at all, but never mind. Oh, strange, kind of like fog down on the ground. And that's about. There's not too much instability in the air, is there? What did I set? Instability, what's going on there? Anyway, let's see what happens. Looks like we've got plenty of land out options. If we can't make it work on the hills, we'll have to land out and call it a day at that. Stay on track as best we can, although there is a point where I should try and come in on the hills. perhaps I can get more speed on. So perhaps I shouldn't be too tardy about getting into the hill influence. Just about. Not very good at holding a heading, am I? Don't worry too much about it. Big landscape, I didn't realise how big it is. I mean, the time it's taking us to get here. These are big lumps, aren't they? Different screens. More into the influence of the hills and hoping they'll we're in the lee of these fuckers, aren't we? What have I got wrong here?
Right, so let's pause the video here and discuss what the problem is. And the problem really is that I've not flown the Duo Discus for over a year. I was hurrying, setting up all the screen capture software and everything before I started this flight. And so then tried to squeeze in doing this flight before I had my tea, all in rather a hurry. So sort of jumped in the plane, as it were, with out of practice and with what I always describe as my head not being in the cockpit. So I sort of got away with it on the Aerotow and getting going and things. But, and you know, I'm getting older and slow, all kinds of excuses I can make. But the bottom line is, if you look at the instruments, if you look at the compass, it's pointing more or less to the north. So I'm going more to the north. I'm heading more or less on track to turning point 1. And that means that west is to my left. And for some peculiar reason, I got it in my head that west, that meant those slopes would be the slopes that were working. But of course they wouldn't be, because the wind is coming from the west. So those slopes are in the lee. And I couldn't really believe how fast asleep I'd been on something like that. But there you go. It's, you know, I did, and I suppose it's quite easy to do in a daft kind of way when your head isn't in the cockpit. I mean, I remember with sort of full-size gliding, having to be careful about only flying when you knew your head would be fully in the cockpit. And, you know, early on, I can remember having 2 small children and being on the airfield, and my thoughts were more at home with them than they were on being on the airfield and about to fly a glider. And I just sort of thought, you really shouldn't be flying a glider when you're thinking about other things. So I asked to be excused, which was fine, and I went home. So having your head in the cockpit before you, you know, go gliding is something you need to, well, I can only talk for myself, but need to recognise in myself and just decide. And it's difficult because, you know, you kind of go out there to go flying. You get into this mode where you think, well, I came to fly, I've got to fly, this got to word, have you got to? And so on and so forth. And I think really the most important thing is to have a sense of, I'm not really on the ball today. My head is not really where it should be, or it's not working as well as it should. And any sensible pilot should recognise a day like that and just sort of say, I'm not going to fly today. I'm just not really, for whatever reason, in the mood. My head's not in the cockpit. And as this flight progresses, you'll see other moments where I do things that even flying in VR, where you're not going to get yourself killed or anything by doing it, but there are some things I do that you really look at and you think these would be mad things to do in the real world. And I think to some extent they were happening because my head wasn't really in the cockpit. I just wasn't on top of my game, monitoring the instruments quite well enough, thinking about the consequences of entering cloud when you're in the mountains, for instance, if you don't find lift in that cloud and so on and so forth. But I'll leave you to spot those moments as they come along. And as you'll see in a moment, I was so embarrassed by all this. I nearly sort of thought, well, I'm not going to put this on YouTube and let them see me making a complete cock of it. But then I thought to myself, no, really, it's far more interesting to put it on YouTube and let people see this, warts and all, because it's a real illustration, I think, of how sort of things can go off the rails a bit. And also, as you'll see, I do manage to recover the situation, and it leads me into a rather spectacular adventure, which I'm very glad I didn't miss. It was tremendously exciting. Anyway, enough of the blather. Let's get back to the flying.
That's north, and we're in the lee of these bastards. So in that case, I've got to go over to here. How did I get all that so wrong? Right, I think I'll edit some of that out. Well, there you go, cock-ups and all. Don't think we'll be putting this on YouTube. So I'm now going to try and sort out the mess I've got myself into. I don't understand this. If that is east, the west, yes. Of course. Get myself back to front. Don't know how I managed to do that. Hopefully I've managed to sort it out before it's not too disastrous. Do you know, I think age is taking its toll. These bloody slopes are working and we can make up the mistakes. Otherwise, it'll be extremely interesting. Well, that's better, isn't it? What an idiot. What a complete bloody idiot. What is wrong with me? Lightning over that hill. What an ass. What an absolute ass. Don't know how I make this right really, because I've got quite a way to go. I needed that height to and a sort of a cloud or something to get into. to get over this. This is going to be very interesting to see how I sort all this out. Nice big cloud, the one with the lightning. So let's get ourselves properly on the windward slope. See if we can work this slope upwards and back towards the cloud. Never mind where we're supposed to be heading at the moment. We need to get some height to be heading to it with. So we need to pick up the lift and try and connect with some thermal lift as well, really, don't we? Because we've got a crossing to make here. It's way over there somewhere, and it's a way off. I don't know how we're going to make our way into that lot. I haven't even begun to work out how to do it yet. This isn't taking us any closer at the moment. But we are getting considerably higher, that's for sure. And there's all the drama of getting near to a thundercloud as well, so that's good fun. Flying quite slowly, but then again we're not trying to do tight turns or anything, so. And it is dramatic, you've got to admit it's dramatic. Never mind that I've completely cocked up my planning. Here comes the hail. Get back in the best lift if we can. Try and get in the up. Let's see whether we're starting underneath this great big monster now, aren't we? Whether we can begin to go stalling into the hill. Getting lively. Blinding lightning, and the sun coming through as well. Let's see whether we can get anything by circling, can we? There's the shadow of the glider on the mountain, can you see? Wow, dramatic lighting and everything. Let's see if we can climb in this. Wow, we're right in the middle of a monster thunderstorm here. Whoa!
3.5.
Stupendous climb right here. We're off the scale, averaging about 8 knots. so worried about my circling speed. I'm just trying to keep the plane under control. Where's the strong stuff? Here we go. Let's try and trim the plane back now properly. Wow, this is serious stuff. Where's that really strong bit again? Install it.
3.4.
Mad stuff, this. This is fantastic. This is what I do it for. Never mind the complete cock-ups with working out the wind direction all wrongly. It's caused us to be in the middle of the most dramatic weather. It's just incredible. Wow. Wow. I don't know whether to... is my flying good enough to go into cloud at the moment? Thunderstorm?
4.1.
You need to fly it better than this, that's for sure. When you go into cloud, you'll need to be flying it a lot better than this. But if we can get great height, that will allow us to wang along, get over those mountains to our turning point, and maybe we can get out again when we sort of turn with the wind. Right, going into cloud now, so I better go on to instruments and hope we can do it. Oh, no. Just be ready on the air brakes, don't actually open them.
3.2.
Whether we can hack this. Give it a go. Set for any climb I can get at the moment. Keep going. Stall it out. Don't stall it out. That'll happen because I've got an itch on my nose and I tried to attend to it when I should have been flying. And I've just kind of lost the zone. Get it back under control again. The mother and father of a thunderstorm we're in, that's for sure though. Not something you do in real life, it'd be absolutely bonkers to do something like this. The lift's gone now.
3.7.
Keep that speed under control. We can make 10,000 feet. I think I might settle for that. Because we're getting blown back on the wind all the time as well, so that doesn't really help. I can see a bit of something. Oh, I can see it vaguely. Like we're coming out of the cloud. Out the side of it or something. Right, we've made 10,000 feet, so let's just come round onto our heading and get out of here. Whoops, I overshot the heading, never mind. That'll do. Trim it forward. Stay on the instruments till we're out of that cloud. Holy moly! What a dramatic event. Oh, I'd love to turn it, but I don't think I will. I'll just take what I can get. Wait till we come out of it. God knows when we will. Right, we'll be the sink now, so let's get the speed on and get out of here. Not too much, not too much. Remember, it's rough air. Never mind it. Hope when we come out that getting over the mountain range it doesn't look quite so awful. Vaguely, this is when you must look out the cockpit because you can see little bits, but it's not enough to rely on, and you'll get yourself mighty disorientated when we're well out in the cloud until we start coming off the instruments. Well, we've left cloud, but I can't see much at all at the moment. God, I hope it clears. Left cloud. Oh, it's getting a bit better now. Oh yes, that looks a whole lot better in terms of getting somewhere. That looks a whole lot better. Excellent. So the rain will clear. Whew! That was lively. So where's the turning point? Looks like it's right in the mountain somewhere, doesn't it? Phew! Normal service has returned. So we sorted out the cock up, had an amazing time in a huge thunderstorm, and continuing on our way. I hope I've not delayed my sort of tea by too much with all this carry on. So where on earth turning point, and what are the traps that lie between here and there? I mean, I would be flying a little bit slowly, but we've got to get into this wind, and it is a reasonable wind, so and we ought to be able to fly at this kind of speed given the stuff that's available. What worries me a bit is the business between having to try to find a sort of a windward slope in the middle of all this, and or take another cumulus climb in cloud, probably, because you won't get enough height gain otherwise. Having said that, once we round the turning point, what do we have to do after that? Let's have a look and see. Right, okay, we've got to go somewhere over there after that, haven't we? So we won't be out of it until we head down this way, when we might be able to run some kind of windward slopes. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's just get ourselves there. It's slow progress. We're going to need another climb before we get there. So whether we like it or not. And look at these mountains. I mean, you know, what are the land out options? Not much. Not much. Oh well. Well, there's a cloud up ahead. We might need to just take that and get some height from it. And at least after this turning point, we won't be going right into wind like this. We'll have it sort of half behind us. Got to head for this cloud. I mean, you know, at the moment we do have plenty of options to run for the flatlands and do a land out. And to some extent, we ought to be noticing the gaps that we can run out of. Yeah, we can run out of this kind of valley here, can't we? Yeah, so we've got some options to run out. But I don't really want to be doing that. I want to get the task done. Let's just hope we can. Because, I mean, you know, it seems to be a lot more leeward stuff than there does into wind stuff. And very soon we'll be feeling it. I mean, we're already in bad sync. We're already in bad sync. What we do about this, I really don't. I don't see where the interwind opportunities are. At least not as we try and head towards our one thing at a time. Let's see if we can get lift. I don't know why there's a bit of lift here. I don't know quite why. Let's try circling a bit, see whether I don't know if it's a thermal hasn't appeared yet. And I'm taking it. It's very smooth.
1.1.
I mean, it does have the slight advantage that just loitering here, to some extent, does should bring the other cloud nearer to us.
1.2.
I'm not quite sure what's giving us this lift because there's no sign of a cloud here or anything. Can't believe that we're getting off that slope. Let's see if we can head towards this cloud. Ride this forward. Don't know what it is and why it's here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like thermal stuff, does it? It really is. It's something else. Anyway, I'm very happy to use it. Very happy to use it. Didn't know better. I say it was like wave. But there's no cloud here marking it. Do you think I've got Condor all confused and it's producing wave as well as our other kinds of lift? I just don't know. And I'm going to proceed towards this cloud. This very nice lift. I have absolutely no idea why this is here. It's almost like it's wave lift. It's very strong. And a bit low down, really, to be honest. I've never seen Condor generate wave this low down. Can't believe it's to do with that. Very strange. Whether there's some kind of resonance being produced by all these peaks and troughs, I don't know. Anyway, right now I'm heading for this cloud, which so far hasn't belched forth any lightning and things, but I won't be surprised if it starts doing it very shortly. Call this the flight of the thunderstorms. It's keeping us above the peaks. We've got plenty of escape options, so no need to panic. Cloud base is low here, so we're ready to go on to instruments. It's pretty sharpish. Don't think we'll get much of a clear air climb. Inching our way towards the turning point, but what a way to go. looked under this cloud? Horrendous sink. Whoa! Whoa! Nearly stalled it out there. I don't quite know why. Because probably about 50 knots. But let's sort this mess out and go again. Let's try and fly a little faster this time. Come on. Blimey, a lot of turbulence, I think. Oof. All over the place.
1.5.
Dicking around getting nervous, aren't you, really? Get yourself straightened up on track again and then just carry on, because I don't think you'll do yourself many favours in this messing around with this. Your speed controls all over the place. Just take what you can to continue on your way. Oh, 12 kilometres, I thought we had 2 kilometres for a second, that would have been nice. Right, let's we can make it. Get interesting in terms of escape options if we're not careful. There's another cloud the other side of this ridge line. Better get to it. Turning point is over this ridge line, and well, not much further than that, more or less where that cloud is. That's what I hope. I don't even know what's in that kind of valley beyond this ridge. If it even is much of a valley, I'll have to see. Quite a landscape though. No country for old men. Oh, here's the mystery lift again. I'm very happy to ride along with and not go too fast so I can milk it for what it's worth. Good looking valley down that way. But again, you know, what would you do if you had to land out there? Assuming you could even manage a spot to land out in, how would someone come and get you? Please let this ridge be the last. And even then, we've got to get out. And that cloud looks as though it's actually beyond the next ridge, doesn't it? So that'll be interesting. Let's go where we're supposed to be heading a bit. Maybe there'll be some wind on that ridge at sort of 1 o'clock. Work out where this blessed, yeah, because it looks as though it is in the valley, doesn't it? Because if the brown bits on the LX display are the high ground and the yellow bits are the lower ground, then you would hope that the turning point is indeed before we get to the next ridge. Decide our way out round this, but we're maintaining altitude quite well at the moment. Always gets me leaning forward in my seat, at the edge of my seat here, with this kind of thing. Well, looks as though you could probably try and land out in that valley somewhere, but how you get recovered, I have no idea. TP1 coming up not too far off. I look forward to rounding it. It'll be interesting to see what we do after that. This cloud's not coming towards us at a great rate, is it? And yet, what else is there? Bearing in mind we should be sort of going off somewhere like that. Well, there's all that stuff there. Let's see. Zoom in a bit. I'm not flying fast here because I don't want to sort of give away the height too easily. But having said that, we're in bad sync, so we ought to be more intelligent about things, oughtn't we? Go faster through the sync. You can tell I'm completely out of practice. I'm just not in the saddle properly, but never mind. Right, so come out of the sync. Ready to turn the turning point. And decide where we're going after that. Thunderstorm up ahead, but we're not going to be going there. Nice cliff here, no idea why. Ought to be slowing up and extracting more out of it, really, oughtn't I? Turning point any minute, hopefully. Okay. idea what the source of this lift is, but I'm just going to go slowly in it and take it. Let's have a look at these different so we're at 90 degrees, so yeah, the wind should be kind of like around 3/4 behind us, oughtn't it, really? So if that's the case, do we try and slightly stay on this side of this ridge, see whether it can offer us a bit? Let's just try that a bit and then peel away a bit. It seems to be working, whether it's to do with these ridge lines, I'm not sure, but it seems to be working quite nicely, that. I don't think it's particularly to do with the clouds or anything. But let's just keep going in this lift as best we can. It's not too far off track from where we want to go. If we can stay on this side, we'll only get blown over when we're ready. It's a higher kind of ridge line than that lot there, isn't it? Which might be a bit in the lee. At some point you are going to have to just head off on track. We're heading sort of through cloud at the moment, and that might have some lift in it as well, so I'm not going to circle anything, but you never know. So I think we're onto instruments now, right, so let's just go onto instruments and get on track. Try not to stall out the sky. So good, because we got caught in cloud with no lift. Perhaps wasn't such a smart move, was it? Let's just see what happens. I want to get out of cloud. We don't really want to be in cloud in mountains like this, but I don't know how far the cloud's extending. This is the kind of stuff you definitely would not do in real life, but I'm sort of kind of up for it in this. Giving us good lift anyway, while we go on our way. The speed control's all over the fucking place, but I am quite keen to get out of this, so I don't mind if it's a bit fast. I'm going up at a hell of a rate while we're doing it, so... hope it doesn't extend forever. Dangerous game though, because if it's strong sink and we don't get out of it, then we're in the mountains, aren't we? Pull up while we're in the lift a bit. Pretty wild. get out of this cloud. Tremendous lift as we go along. Woof! And then tremendous sink. Keep an eye on the altitude. This is where pilots get into serious trouble, is doing things like this. I've gone into cloud, sort of into the side of it really. Hoping very much that there will be lift rather than sink in it, and that I will come out of it still well above the mountains, but what do you do? Right, I might as well head on track for the moment, see what happens. There we go. Phew, we got away with that, that's good. Excellent. Right, now the only next thing, we've got to work out what we're doing, because we've still got 22k to go, and we need to think about what is 60 off. The wind is sort of getting to be kind of behind us, really, isn't it? So we need to be here. We could have done with being over there, really, couldn't we? But never mind. Not proving to be too unreliable though, the lift, is it? Touch wood, famous last words. Seems to be plenty of it as we go along and plenty of options, you know. And there's a kind of a bit of a landable, artable area down there, isn't it? If you ever had to do it, I sincerely hope we don't, but at the moment we're cruising along pretty much on track and with sort of lift as we go. That's quite nice. Is that these ridges below us? I suppose it might be, yeah. Yeah, I suppose it might be. Not quite convinced they'd work quite like this in real life, but I'm not going to argue. It's all working very nice. Wow. Just gets better and better, and I have no idea why. Crazy. Crazy stuff. So what's the actual task here? After this is another kind of dogleg, okay, which goes very much fleeing with the wind, and then we have to head back towards home, okay. Another thunderstorm up ahead. Looking a bit on track, that looks interesting. This stuff up ahead ought to sort of catch a fair bit of the wind, oughtn't it, really, I would hope. We needn't rush over to it, but when the moment arrives, it'll be interesting to see what it does. It's doing very nicely here, though, isn't it? It just seems to be a load of rising stuff. Whether it's because I'm cruising these, I'm trying to sort of stay slightly in the right point on the bridges. That's just tough, and whether that's what's paying off, I don't know. So by that token, except that we have got to head over there in a second, let's take what we can out of this. This rate might even make 10 grand out of it. I do believe we will. Wow. Okay, well I'm happy with that. Seems to be above cloud base. Well, that's interesting because that cloud's very low on those ridges, isn't it? So I don't really want us to be in that cloud when I'm anywhere near those ridges. I've already been stupid enough. I have no idea why we're continuing to rise like this. But I think it's probably time to start racing for the TP before we reach this cloud. So let's get on and do that. And that's quite interesting because it looks as though once we've gone past this TP, we're going to be out over the kind of, the open landscape again pretty soon, so that's going to be interesting. See how all that goes. Not long to go to this TP. We're going to avoid that thunderstorm. I think one strong thunderstorm is probably enough for cross country. Not going to slow up at this point because I really would rather not be in this cloud, to be honest. So we can head through a bit of a gap there. Try and dive under this, but I don't think we'll be able to avoid it completely, but oh, fuck. I don't want to be in it. Better. Keep the nose down. Keep the nose down. I don't want to be in this cloud. Whoa, nearly broke. Fuck me. Watch the airspeed. Shit. Didn't realise I'd done that. This is going to be a fun video with all the mistakes. Boy, am I going to get some comments from real pilots on this one. Holy moly! I'm just not on with it, to be honest. I mean, I should have been watching the ASI. I was just so terrified about trying to stay below cloud. I didn't realise how the speed was coming on. So, all lessons learned though, really, isn't it? Bloody hell. Shame I'm so old to actually benefit from them much. Dragged close to this thunderstorm, but we're almost at the turning point. Where are we? Right, okay. Yeah, I'd need a lot of work on my flying to actually get back to flying the real thing, wouldn't I? Not that I will be doing that, but anyway. I'm getting older and slower all the time. So now we're kind of south and the wind is, so we need not to be on the lee of these ridges, don't we? We need to make sure we're not caught on the leeward side, which means that we need to do something a bit like this. Keep taking out where we can. I suppose we should be able to at least run them at speed. Let's get some speed on when we do it. See, once you sort of leave these, you're really on some flatlands then, aren't you? So you'll have to escape from the hills decisively, then go for a cloud climb. And where? See, we're already kind of feeling a sink here, aren't we? Yeah, this is bad sink. We don't want to be hanging around here. Get some more lift once we get past this point. Go forward a bit. Let's see where it picks up. We go forward a bit. No, that's not working. We're just in horrendously. Let's slow the speed up, see whether things improve. I don't think they will much though. seriously bad sink. So I think we've got to give it up and go for this cloud. I'm not doing any good here at all. Hopefully this cloud might give us a climb while blowing us out of the hills. We're losing height at quite a rate at the moment. Horrendous sink. So let's hope this cloud is our salvation. We're in a bad situation at the moment. I really want this cloud, to be honest. Bank there. Speed control shit. About to spin in the mountains. Not a good plan.
3.1.
Bothering with all this, but there we go. Practice, I suppose. Just shows you how you need to stay in practice with these things, or you just quickly become rubbish at them.
3.1.
If we can get to 10,000 feet again, that would be a hoot. Feet, come round on the turn and then come out. Watching out for your speed. Oh well. Fabulous. What a view. Right, let's go for that turning point. Anti-cloud? Oof, did I? Blimey. Didn't think I did. There we go. Right, so we go for this TP, and then after this one, we've got to bend down there. Right, and that's all in the lee, so we don't want to be mucking around with that, do we? So let's get past the turning point and then worry about what we're going to do. Oops. So that's quite interesting. We can't stay near those hills when we're in the lee. It's like southeast. Yeah. To get away from the hills, really. And yet, we can't totally get away from the hills because we've got to go back over that way somehow, so this will be interesting. Got good height though anyway to get started with it. Suppose that a glacier, is it? Seems rather flat-landing. This is a high plateau for a glacier to be coming out of, but who knows? Whoops, pay attention to your turning point. Good God. What are you like? What are you like? The worst flyer on the planet. Come on. Thank you. Right, so we're changing to the... So we can't really just sort of fly there just like that, can we? I don't think. It's too dodgy, so I think we've got to watch out for the lee of these hills. I don't see how we can... No, we've got to stay clear of the hills. I mean, we're already getting sinkier, aren't we? A lot of sink, and I don't see how to sort this. Except to crack on and try and get, mind you, we could try and get to a cloud. We're going to sink like this, and maybe the sooner we get to a cloud the better, but no sign of any wave lift. We were never going to get that, so yeah. Now I don't even know final glide arrival elevation. Does that mean that you would get there at 420 feet above? I think it probably does, doesn't it? We'll find out in a sec. Right now, I think we're just going to head more or less on track for different one of these clouds. Take lift from it, see what happens, and go from there. And I noticed a line of low-lying hills right in the way on the way back to Omarama that we might have to watch out for on final glide, because they might sort of misbehave a bit with this, but we'll see. Right, so which of these are we actually going to go for? Bearing in mind it's going to blow us. Anyway. Except for the sinky business. Better vertical development, isn't it? Even though it's a bit, we're going to get blown off track, but we could try cloud climbing that, I suppose. I mean, we're good and high at the moment. Don't like the idea of getting too close into the hills there. We've got to accept this one and see how we go. And check my real world watch, see how bad things are. 8:15, no, we might just about be alright. 8:15 in the real world, and I need to be making my tea at 9 o'clock, so hopefully got to get all this done in good order. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've got to get there first. So you've been able to witness some truly abysmal flying, but ragged though it was so far, I've at least survived and managed to get round the task. So fingers crossed we'll make it all the way home. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Can't believe, whoops, a little bit of a glitch in the VR there. Can't believe how I just got myself so back to front on which slopes to go for on the women's side. What a near disaster that was. Luckily I sensed something must be wrong as the sink got worse as I started to move towards the slopes. So a quick dash across the lake to the windward slope and all was sorted, and in the end it worked out very well because we managed to capture the drama of, I mean that was more than I had out in the Canary Islands, a drama of a real thunderstorm and raging all around you and then going up into the cloud with lightning all over the place. It's quite dazzling actually with the VR visor on. It really does dazzle you quite seriously. The hail sort of lashing on your windscreen, rain and hail. It was great drama. Right, let's hope this cloud takes us aloft a bit. I'd like it to. I'm in a steady sink at the moment. At least after this we start to be further away from the hills, the lee of the hills, not to our right, which we want really. Yeah, you can see the wind drifting steadily to the left. Not any lift of this cloud yet. Big cloud. Hopefully somewhere under it is a good cell of lift. I'd like to top up if I can. Stay to the slightly windward side of it, but just go a bit more windward and see. Big sink. Okay, let's hope we haven't turned too soon. Searching. More like it.
2.5.
Trim it back. Try and find the thermal again.
3.3.
Should we try going into cloud? See whether we can get some serious height and wang back towards home? Don't know. See how we get on.
3.9.
Averaging 7.6 knots at the moment. That's quite good, but it's not an even climb. I'm not really whoop, 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 whoop. Kind of mainly looking at the instruments now, to be honest, although I can just about see the ground. It's the point where it can get a bit seductive and you shouldn't really look at it. Circling a bit slowly as well, but as long as I can keep the speed under control. Still don't feel I'm really well centered in the lift at all. Speed getting a bit slow at times. think there'll be 2 greedy in this. If we get 10,000 feet, that's good. And if we can, don't dick around now. We're losing the lift here. A bit better.
Three point five.
Coming out the cloud. Right, let's can probably not mess around with it much longer. Suppose it could be fun to try and make 11,000, but I need to do a lot better with finding the lift than this. Let's head into the cloud proper, see whether it is anything more. Can't really find the mother load here, so I think really we're probably best just. Oh, it looks as if I'm either out the side of it or it's decaying. So either way, let's call it a day and get on track. Don't want to be up here all night. Oh, bit of lift there. Let's. Let's go for a bit longer. If we make 11,000 feet, then I'm calling it a day. No idea why there's lift here, but never mind. $11,000. Let's get out of here and go for it. What I don't understand is there's arrival 1992 in elevation from 20. Is it saying I'm going to arrive 2,000 feet high? Well, let's just go for it a bit, shall we? Got a lovely, great storm ahead. Let's put some speed on and go for it. Bloody lucky I didn't break the wings off back there in the mountains. Holy moly, that was a failure to watch the airspeed. But I must admit, I was getting quite scared of getting caught in cloud with those peaks approaching. I was just so keen to get underneath them. I should have opened the air brakes a bit, but I hated to give up energy. Never mind. We survived. So we'll head under this cloud, shall we? Just head through the rain and see if there's any lift there we can pull up in. We might as well. Watch that airspeed. I don't even know what the max right there is. Where's the it's always bloody German as well, is it? Make sure I have no idea. Watch that speed. When you're bending down to do that, you're affecting the joystick. So barring absolute disasters, I would hope we're going to make it back nicely now. Don't get too cocky on giving up height, because like I said, I think there's a ridge, a line of hills in the way before we we get there. So we don't want to get up in a situation where we think we've got on a marginal final glide, and then suddenly it gets blown out of the, we get screwed. Ease it back a little, and then how to get to know the system as well. ETE 21 minutes. Is that how long it is till we land? So it sounds a bit long, but we're doing 90 knots, which is probably pretty much 90 knots over the ground. I've forgotten how to read these instruments actually, because so the thing with this LX now, there's quite a lot going on there. Ground speed 19198. GS 198. Surely it can't be that much. Arriving. I'm going to have to go and do some flying and get to know how to use this equipment in this plane as well as fly better. So if we find lift under here, we'll pull up at least. We'll pull up. So where was I busy screwing it all up? It was over there, wasn't it? Terrain. Will we be left under this cloud and rain? Will we have rain hitting the windscreen? Who knows? Still got 33k to go, so you know. No lift under this cloud at the moment, where we are. So oh, hang on. Looks like we get lifty. Climbing, I think. Turn more constant.
.9 7.
See if we can get back up to 10,000 a day. Don't want any last minute dramas because I've given up height too readily. If we don't bump into the lift, we'll
2.1. 2. 2.4.
coming out the side of it again, don't know why. Can we get 10 round again? I don't know. We need a bit of a... usually better than this. Yeah, let's just get on our way.
0.8.
Check my real world watch again. Yeah, need to crack on a bit. Yeah, we're all good. Excellent. Let's have a quick... oh, there we are. That's all good fun. Altitude, heading, speed, area, latitude, longitude, it's all there, isn't it? Oh, the cringe. Yeah, very jolly. Lovely to see it in this landscape, isn't it, like this? Great fun. I could wave my hand, but it wouldn't actually show. Right, here we go. Now you could, at a pinch, couldn't you, sort of just shift to the left a bit and try and hug those hills for some more lift. Wouldn't take you too far off track really, but because I did do a task, it was this task I think, but with different weather out of Omarama a few years ago in Condor 2. Oh, now we're going to get cloud if we do this, but never mind. And I do seem to recall how you have to watch out for a line of hills that get in your way just as you're coming back here. I think it was here. I can't remember very well. And I thought I might have noticed something like that on the way out. But I'm not sure. This is an interesting game, flirting with cloud like this. There we go. I think we'll soon be below it. just for fun, I'm just going a bit nearer these hills because I want to see what happens. I shouldn't overdo this. It'll leave me kind of headed to wind too much, so let's not do that. Let's not do that. Yeah, we're already having to head 45 degrees in the wind. We've got a nice cloud ahead, should it matter. Take a few turns under that for safety, I think. Sensing anything much from these hills at the moment at this height, so and I've let us drift round a bit, so we're now actually having to fight in the wind a bit, so never mind. A bit careless of me, but not to worry. Oh, I think I know what it was. For some reason, don't know why, I think I came in, if you look at 1 o'clock, that range of hills along there, I think I came in from that direction, and I had to come over them. I don't really understand. I must have had the wind set differently, so that it was a problem, I'm not sure. That's very good. I don't think we really need to stop on here, but we can slow up a bit. Just a little bit. I think we've got bags behind, to be honest, but take a bit out of it anyway. No, this time I think if anything we've got these this line of hills here will probably help us a bit, won't it, really? Won't do us any harm, we're not going to get behind them. Now let's go for it. Should we call them on final glide? Last little look out of the cockpit. Lovely, yeah. Whoops, no, God, don't want to do that. Holy crap. Please, go away. Changing to your heading, for God's sake. Omarama base, Bravo Sierra. I'm 10 kilometers out on final glide. Should be with you in a few minutes. See Omarama, those three bands of white, they are the sheds at one end of the runway, and the long green strip running across at the base of the hills is the runway itself. So we're all good. We're well high, to be honest, aren't we? Well high. Hugely higher than we needed to be, but hey-ho. Not trying to be a hot shot here. Just survive and get home. Dump our water ballast. I need to put the bicycle to do that, sorry about that. And now I will just check with the view that yeah, we are dumping ballast. That's good. Got a look for you guys. Where's the? Oh no, hang on. There you go. You can see the ballast being dumped underneath the wings and trailing out behind us in a long stream. What a lot of fun! Oh yeah, huge fun. Probably drifting off track for around now. I don't know what the speed is. I'm going to get back in the cockpit. Where are we? Oh no, we're okay. It's under the nose. Good. So now the only thing is I would open air brakes and come straight in, but we have got to actually go through the finishing triangle, so we can't just start doing that too much. We could probably sort of open the brakes a bit though, can't we? Because we're at a stupid height. I want my tea. Omarama base, Bravo Sierra, 4 kilometers out, approaching from the east, is it? Yes, east. Should be overhead you in just a couple of minutes. Omarama base from Bravo Sierra, just about to finish. I shall be doing a left-hand circuit onto the northerly runway. Southerly runway, sorry, my apologies. Change in lighting is all the time. Strange things going on with the visuals, but not to worry. If I've got this right, and then we just finished, and it goes hooray, and I can just go straight in and land. Just get the wheel down. That wouldn't be a bad land. Wolf checks. Water is released. Undercarriage is down there. Okay. Right. So we'll just close the brakes a bit so we can open up the circuit attach. Minimum speed 60 knots on the approach. Let's try and trim suitably. Wheel is down and locked. Okay, let's get the speed stabilized. Should we land back on the tap or land long? Nothing on the approach, good. Late to turn on the front, never mind. Overshot the turning point a bit, and the brakes attach. slight crosswind. Try and land somewhere where the tug is. Oh, I can see him. Brings away just a notch. Close to the tug. Hold it off. Steer it round towards the tug if we can. There we go. Lovely, lovely. Excellent. Right. Well, I enjoyed that. Despite my terrible flying, it was full of adventure. I hope you enjoyed it too. And see you on the next one. I think in the meantime I ought to go away and do just a bit of flying without recording anything, because this was all done at once, all coming back to flying, not having done much at all. Strange location, strange situation, bloody blah, and doing a lot of setting up so I could record all this, and then going straight onto doing the actual task. But anyway, the conditions were not too challenging. Some mysterious lift in the hills. I don't quite understand what was causing all of that, but at the end of the day, just settle for what you see or what you get. And this is Condor, not real life, of course, so I think there's an awful lot of things going on there that you wouldn't do in real life. I wouldn't do, obviously. You'd need to know what you were doing. Anyway, okay, bye for now.